What we're going to look at in this video is some evaluation, so advantages and disadvantages of using civil courts. So first of all, an advantage. Let's talk about advantages first. It's heard by a qualified judge. They are a legal expert, they are experienced. This ensures that justice is achieved. They make an impartial decision. This decision is binding, so you go through the system of precedent and therefore you have got consistency. You are also, as another advantage, guaranteed a resolution. You get a final decision. It's legally binding. You have to follow it. So again, you have got certainty. Another advantage is the judgments are very detailed. The judge or judges have to give their reasons for the decision. This upholds the rule of law. It ensures that justice is done. If a mistake is made, then you do have appeal route. So you can appeal, which is a structured route and procedure to follow. The final advantage, just to briefly talk about, is that the judge allocates the case to the correct track and court at an early stage. So this helps minimise delays, which should then minimise costs. So it's very much case managed. And to an extent, the parties are in control because you know the timetable in advance. It ensures that the law is fair and accessible to everyone. Now, there are many disadvantages of using the civil courts. So first of all, it's very expensive. So barristers can charge £1,000 an hour. I'm in the wrong job. And solicitors can charge £300 an hour. And this adds up to tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of pounds. You can get legal aid, so I would make that point. However, you can't get legal aid for personal injury cases. The other thing with legal aid is that it's been reduced since 2010 in the government's austerity measures. In terms of personal injury, what do? You can't get legal aid. Well, you fund the case yourself. Then is the justice system for wealthy people only. Or you go to some no-win, no-fee solicitors, which is fine, but they do take a percentage of your winnings. Second major disadvantage is delays. So despite the timetable and the strict allocation and setting of what's going to happen and when, there are severe delays. It can take years to get to court, particularly in complex cases, which means that you are waiting for a payout potentially, which could be affecting and impacting your life. There's also a lot of uncertainty. There's no guarantee that you're going to win your case. You may be ordered to pay the winner's costs. So not only do you lose and not get compensation, but you have to pay the other party's costs. What if it's you versus a big firm? Massive inequality of arms going on here. So that just means that one side has more power than the other. Are you going to be able to compete against a big company's lawyers? They're not necessarily better lawyers, but they may be more experienced lawyers. It's also quite a complicated process. It's quite difficult for the average person. So I'd question whether it is accessible to everybody. The whole court system, barristers wearing wigs, it's very intimidating. The language used in court is complex as well. So what we will look at in later videos is alternatives to using the civil courts due to all these problems.